I had a few of you ask for more detailed instructions on how to make this Snuggle Buddy that I made the other day. And so I decided that I would make one on just some cotton fabric so that it would be easier to see what I'm doing, because when I made the one out of the, what's this called, fleece blanket, but I think it was just the kind of fleece I was cutting. So I'm going to show you how to make this on cotton fabric. I think it will be easier to understand, and then you can make it out of whatever you want to. But let me turn the camera down here. So I've just laid my pattern on the cotton, and it's 2 thicknesses. There's a fold right over here, but it's just 2 thicknesses. And honestly, you can have this any shape you want. I just kind of made it look like people-y. So this is the head, and I made it kind of flat across the top because it's easy to put a zipper right there because there's a seam. So then we need to cut all around this and just get the shape, y'all. This is so easy, and all I did, I just took 3 pieces of paper and I folded it in half so each side would be symmetrical when I cut it out. And you could have, like I said, any shape you want. If you want it just one big square, like a pillow, or rectangle, like a regular pillowcase, just do that, okay? Or if you don't want these little rounded edges for what I call arms and legs, then just cut it straight down on each side and square it off at the bottom like an angel shape. That would be cute too. So I've completely cut around this, just setting the extra fabric aside. Now, like I said, across what I call the head, across the top, I've made it straight because that's where I want to put my zipper. So now, see the fuzz from the fleece blanket. So the first thing I'm going to do is just cut, so just a straight seam right across here. So see, I sewed my straight seam right across there. Now what you need to do is open this like this. Open it up so you can open the seam, and this is where you sew the zipper, right there in that seam. Then for your zipper, you want to have at least a 7-inch zipper. And it needs to be an all-purpose zipper. It could be an invisible zipper, but that's not necessary. But you do want at least 7 inches. Some zippers are shorter, but most zippers are not shorter than 7 inches. And if your zipper that you're using is longer than 7 inches, you can just cut it off like this. That's what I did with those others that I made. I had zippers that were longer. So you can cut them off, but you just want a 7-inch zipper at least. When you install your zipper, right where this seam is where you lay the zipper teeth of your zipper. You lay the teeth side down into the seam like this. And I just centered it here on my head. And then I'm going to pin it in place. And I'm going to keep the middle of the zipper like that. Just lay it down and then pin on either side of it all the way across. That holds it in place. And I just lift it up like this and look to see if I'm getting those teeth exactly where they need to be in the middle of the seam. I've pinned it in place, and I'm going to sew right along here between the teeth and the edge. I'm going to sew right in the middle. You know what? You don't have to do it like I do it. Do it like you're doing it. I'm just showing you how easy and how simple this is. And so many times we overthink these projects and make them way harder than they need to be. Okay, now I have the zipper in. It's important that you stitch across each end. Now I'm going to take all these stitches out so the zipper will open. Okay, the stitches are out. Now let's open the zipper just to make sure it zips. Yeah, that zips really well. See? And if you don't want to put a zipper in, just leave a hole. Your little grand miracles or your little people that you're making it for won't care. Now, I left raw seams around the edge of my fleece blanket. Remember the one in the video before? What I did, once I had the zipper in, I just sewed all the way around. Now, if you don't want raw edges on yours, what you do is you turn it wrong side out, where the pretty sides are together and the raw zipper is sticking up like this. And then you sew. You'll have to make sure your zipper's open though, so you can reach inside and turn it. Make sure your zipper's open. Sew all around the edges, and then reach inside and turn it. Pull the pretty side out, and then you'll have a seam that's a finished seam like this. But I didn't do that on the fleece one. I'm not going to do that on this one. So I'm keeping the zipper just like it goes when it's closed, just like this. Now I'm just going to sew all the way around, and I'll show you that. This is what it looks like when it's all sewn around. Still finding that fuzz. So if you wanted to not use fleece like I did the blanket, that's just fine. If you want to do this, you could embroider a face on it. You could paint a face on it. Here it is. And then when I gave mine to my little people, I put a Hot Wheel and a monster truck down in there, and they were so excited to reach down in there and find that, and then they just snuggled up to it. But you could use this for a Christmas stocking if you wanted to. You could put a tab on it, or you could hang it. You could shape it like a stocking if you wanted to, and still put the zipper in the top. You know what? The sky's the limit with this idea. Hopefully this will show you how simple it is on just a plain straight stitch sewing machine without a zipper foot. You don't have to zigzag these edges or anything. If they get frayed, it's not going to come apart. They'll just be frayed. You know, and people wear frayed jeans nowadays. Does it matter if the Snuggle Buddy is frayed? No, it doesn't matter. Then remember, you can make this any shape you want. The sky's the limit. Your creative imagination start to work to do a project that will make you feel accomplished, that will help you connect your mind, your body, and spirit. When we do things with our brain and our hands and we involve our thought processes, it's amazing how healing it is. And you need to do little projects like this. Okay, at the start of the video, I promised you that I would show you a project that I'm working on that I thought about doing a video about just it, but I don't know. It'll still give you a good idea though. The other day, our little 4-year-old grandson broke his leg below the knee, and it's a really bad break. It's in a cast, but they're having to keep him still in hopes that the bones will connect so he doesn't have to have surgery. So he's having to be pretty immobilized, but he has this massive cast on one leg. And so what I'm going to do with these sweatpants, so that one leg that isn't covered in a cast can still be warm, I'm going to cut this one off, this leg off, and then open up this seam and insert this zipper. Put his leg that isn't in a cast in this, and then all they'll have to do is just wrap this one around his body and zip it up. Now this is a special zipper, see? It's a separating zipper, like would be in a coat or jacket. So they will be able to have it completely. This side pant leg will be short because the cast is big enough around that I don't think it will fit in these sweatpants. But that's what I'm doing. So maybe one of you needs this for an idea for something you're working on. Maybe it's not a sweet little person with a broken leg in a cast, but maybe it's another project that you're needing an idea for, and this will help you think of it. Alrighty, here's the sweatpants all done. One leg is short, one leg is long. It's cold here, so this will feel good and snuggly on his leg that doesn't have a cast on it. And then this one, I just opened up the seam and took out the pocket and then used the separating zipper like I showed you. See how it comes apart? Whoops, there's a stray thread. Let me get that. And so when they slip his leg that's not broken into this side, then this can just be pulled around and zipped around the side that's in a cast, and it's going to be so much easier to get dressed now. I didn't know how this would turn out when I started, but you know what? Sometimes on those projects you just have to start, don't you? So at the top, I just used a piece of the fabric that I had cut off and made a loop, and then I sewed a button. So the top can be buttoned closed if they want it to be closed. Okay, alrighty, there you go. So there's your two ideas, and I hope that it helped you with something you're working on. I was thinking about you all day. Should I post this? Should I not post this? Should I post this? Should I not post this? And you know what? The things you do aren't going to be exactly like I do, but it might give you an idea. Okay? All right, I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for watching.